Hi there. Happy Friday. I'm doing a little something different today and coming to you earlier in the morning if you are kind of on East Coast time or close to it, just because I know Fridays can get busy and people have a lot going on. So I thought we could have this conversation a little bit earlier today. Last week, we talked about how writing can offer a different aspect of freedom in your pharmacy career, or if you're not a pharmacist, in your particular career as a healthcare provider. Today, I thought it would be helpful to discuss more about what the financial opportunities look like, the financial opportunities that open up to pharmacists through health content writing, through freelance health content writing specifically. One of the nice things about freelancing is that you can adjust it, tweak it, mold it to fit your lifestyle and the particular goals you might have at any point in your life. And so there are different levels, if you will, of financial goals that you can take advantage of. So we'll talk through some of those today really quickly. For those who don't know, my name is Megan Freeland. I'm a public health pharmacist by training and also a health content strategist. And I run the Health Professionals to Health Writers program, which is a 4-month accelerator that teaches pharmacists and other healthcare providers how to replace a portion of their income, their primary income, through freelance health content writing. So on my account, you'll see me talking a lot about health content writing specifically, and sometimes more broadly about other types of medical and health writing. But keep in mind that my specialty is health content writing. And so if you have interest in other types of medical writing, this program would not be the best fit for you. But let's go ahead and move on into our topic for today, which is the 3 financial goals that pharmacists or other healthcare providers can achieve with freelance health content writing. So, number 1 is the one we all know and love. It's a little bit of side money, right? You need a little side hustle. You just want some cash on the side to supplement your primary income. Maybe you're planning for a trip, or maybe you are saving money for some other particular goal, or maybe you just want to have a little bit more disposable income. So, this side money goal is really light and flexible. Like you're not applying too much pressure to yourself. It's kind of like a nice to have, not like I actually need this. And that can be a nice place to be in, because in reality, as a freelance health content writer, if you are just trying to bring in a little bit of side cash every month, if you wanted to, you could just have one well-paying client, and that might cover, your needs for what you have, or cover your needs in terms of the side money that you're trying to bring in. Now, having one client only, there are risks that come along with, putting all your eggs in one basket, so to speak. But technically, it could work, and that could be appropriate for you depending on where you are in your life and what your particular goals are. Excuse me. So, in my experience, when I started freelancing back in 2017, this was kind of where I was. I did not get into freelance health content writing intentionally. I kind of accidentally realized that this was a service and a skill that companies would pay for. And so, when the first company that reached out to me offered to pay, it was like, okay, well, this is a little extra cash. It's nice to have. I can put something on my loans if I want to. One second. Or I can, I don't know, get something nice to eat, like whatever. There was no pressure because I had no expectations for it. I didn't know it was a thing. I had no expectations. So whatever was coming in on the side, it was fine. The second financial goal that pharmacists can kind of access through freelance health content writing is the opportunity to scale up if they are interested in doing so, to scale up and really supplement their income through this additional stream of income. So when you're at a point where you have a little bit more time in your life, or you have a stronger desire or need for more income, for additional income, the nice thing about freelance health content writing, like any type of freelancing, is that you have the opportunity to scale up your clientele and the companies that you are working with. And so rather than kind of in that first scenario where you might just have one client 2 clients may be no big deal, no pressure. If you're in a place where you're wanting to scale up and really bring in a sizable chunk of income, then you're going to be wanting to take on either bigger contracts or multiple contracts at once, right? So that that can increase the income that's coming into your business. So, and a nice thing is that you can also scale down as needed. So I'll give you an example using my own personal situation. After about a year, I decided that after about a year after starting freelancing in 2017, I decided that I wanted to try to go on my own and let go of my full-time job and work in my business full time. And so I knew that in order to do that, one, I would need to save up some money so that I had a sizable nest egg when I decided to leave that job. And two, that I needed to kind of create an on-ramp for myself so that by the time that I left, I would have clients lined up to work with immediately, ideally. And so that led me to putting in a plan to kind of scale up and go from that, having one or two clients at a time to having multiple clients and contracts at a time. So I scaled up so that I could go full time in my business. And then I got to a point where I needed to take a maternity leave, so I scaled down. And then I scaled up again so that I could save up another nest egg for my next maternity leave. And then I scaled down again for maternity leave. So one thing that I love about freelancing is the flexibility and the ability to kind of go up and down intentionally as you need it in your life. Now, obviously, like when I talk about going up and down, I'm speaking about it as if that is like completely in the freelancer's control. But I do think it's important to add, especially for folks who might not be as familiar with freelancing, is that right? It's not just your decision, right? If you want to get more contracts, that means you actually have to go out and work and talk to people and get people to agree to work with you, right? It's not just like, oh, well, I want another contract, so I'm going to go pluck one out of a tree. Like, obviously, there's work and effort behind that, and it's not completely your decision, right? It requires other people to agree to work with you and to understand the value of your services, et cetera, which is why it's important to have a really strong foundation in health content writing and in freelancing. In general. So that was the second financial goal. And then the third financial goal is one that I get asked about here and there. I won't say super often, but here and there, people do ask me if it is possible to work as a freelance health content writer full time. And it absolutely is. I did for 3 years from 2018 to 2021. And so, yes, the answer is yes, it's completely possible to go full time as a freelancer. Um, it requires the same set of foundational skills as the first two goals require, being able to bring in side money or being able to scale up to a supplemental stream of income. But it also requires an additional set of skills that are not necessary for those first two goals. So, what I try to emphasize to folks who are interested in replacing their income full time is that you can get to a certain point with the foundations, and then you have to kind of level up and learn an additional set of skills in order to sustainably be able to replace your full-time income. But the focus in the very beginning should be on getting those foundational set of skills up because you can't skip steps, right? You have to build upon the foundation in order to get to the point where you can learn what you need in order to go full-time. So again, to summarize quickly, yes, you can be a full-time freelance health content writer. If you want to do so in a sustainable way, it's going to require the foundational skills of being a freelance health content writer, as well as an additional set of skills in order to kind of take you from that side money scale up area to the full-time freelance health content writer area. So those are pretty much the three financial goals broadly that are available to pharmacists who pursue freelance health content writing. A lot of people also ask, kind of in this same conversation, whether I have found freelance health content writing to be fulfilling, rewarding, if it is what I thought it would be. And I can say absolutely, hands down, yes. For those who know my story, you know that I started out as a public health pharmacist because my goal was to impact public health in some way. And so, what I love about freelance health content writing is the opportunity to incorporate patient education into my love for writing, and in a way that I know people are seeing in their everyday lives, right? I know that the content I create is coming up on Google when people search for certain terms, and that I'm working with companies who have really engaged audiences who are reading that content and applying it to their lives. So, from a patient education perspective, it's been incredibly rewarding. There are sometimes strangers who reach out to me via email or via LinkedIn just to say, "Hey, I read your article on XYZ through this company's website, and it changed my life," or "I learned this," or "I'm going to talk to my doctor about that." So that's what it is all about for me. And that's also why I created the health writing for the health professionals to health writers program, is because I want more pharmacists and healthcare providers to be able to contribute to fighting health misinformation by making sure that the health information that's out there, the health content that's out there, that's coming up when people are searching Google, is solid, right? Is accurate, is engaging, is interesting, and helps people make good health decisions in their everyday lives. And the other part that's incredibly rewarding for me is, again, the freedom that I talked about in that other video about how writing offers more freedom in your pharmacy career. The freedom that comes with knowing that I have the ability to generate my own income independently of an employer or an organization or whomever. There's so much mental freedom in that, and that has been maybe equally as rewarding as the patient education part. So that's just a little extra answer to a frequently asked question. If you have questions about any of the financial goals we talked about, feel free to leave those in the comments. Otherwise, comment "write," the word "write," if you are interested in applying for the next round of Health Professionals to Health Writers, which starts in May, but very well might be full within the next couple of hours. So if you comment and the cohort is full, sorry, I don't know why I'm blurry, and the cohort is full, you'll see instructions for how to join the wait list, and then we can take it from there. So I hope y'all have a wonderful Friday, a wonderful weekend, and I'll talk to you next time.